understanding we know we can control our defensive schemes, our communication, our energy, our fight, our physicality, then
Mhm.
I think that's where the improvement starts to come.
How do you like flip that focus switch to be like, okay, it is all must win? Like when it becomes like you're cognizant of the standings and all of that, like how do you flip that switch?
Well, it's whether we want to be in the playoffs or not. This is a choice. And I think that's with sports and when you kind of keep it really simple of what you can control and what you can't control. And if our goal is to be in the playoffs, well, then we lay out like what are the things that we need to do. And as long as we show that we're capable of doing it, obviously putting a lot more attention, like I said, to rest this time of our 6 games. I think it's actually in 11 days. I think navigating that, plus again, like this is our goal. Our goal is to make playoffs. And when everyone said like, yeah, we can do it, then I think it's not really a switch. It's more like let's take onus of what we can control and then let's accomplish our goal. And I think with this 12 understanding, actually 13, with this 13, we understand like we're capable of doing it. Yeah.
And I guess just going off of that, in this kind of we have to win every game mentality that you're in right now, what are you doing with road games and away games to try and keep that energy up, keep that seriousness going into somebody else's house?
Yeah, I think it's controlling like the rest and recovery. So right after the last game before we left, right? Like they all did treatment right after. Like the sense of urgency to take priority over, do I go hang out with friends or do I sit here and sacrifice and then make sure I get all my treatment? And then I was texting like, make sure you guys are all sleeping, just because we had to get up at 7:30, took the flight, and then even here today, did you guys get your treatment? Did you guys get your rest? Like just sacrificing all these things that I'm sure they would love to do outside and putting onus of like, if this is our goal and if this is what we control, because getting dehydrated on long flights is something I don't think people really talk about. The mental fatigue that happens, because to be honest, I didn't sleep because I was so excited we were going to leave at 7:30. So I had to sleep at like 3. So I didn't get that much sleep, but again, trying to control what we can control to understand like this West Coast trip to East Coast trip, like we got to make sure we come to play and with a mental toughness of regardless of the long flight or not, how can we fight that?
And then just going off that, how is Kate doing? Do you have any update on her condition?
Yeah, she's good. She had soreness from obviously the hit, and so now we'll obviously make a game time decision when she warms up. Yep.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
This is kind of a random question, but coming into your first year, I'm curious, how big of a analytics person are you? How much do you kind of incorporate that into what you guys do as you're studying and pointing things out to players? And are there a couple categories that are particularly important to you?
I just use analytics as validation of what we're trying to do, and pretty much I keep it at that. I don't know if, well, I don't know. I do know. Analytics, I don't know, can measure the size of someone's heart. I don't think it can measure the size of someone's fight. I don't think it can measure the type of like trauma and traumatic things that happen in someone's life to kind of allow someone when on the court to play out a lot of things that allow them to kind of either fight against it or just to let them be free. So to me, I want the people and the players that have something to play for, and I want their fight to be unreal, unmatched. And to me, those are more of the important things that I look for. I want to know their past. I want to know their history. I want to know why they play so hard. I want to know what they play for. And to me, those are the measuring keys that I want to be a part of, the Golden State Valkyries.
Even before you got the job, has that always kind of been kind of key in your head, or kind of has that evolved as you started to kind of decide what kind of, head coach you kind of and what kind of program you kind of want to run?
It has to be instilled, and also obviously the skill set that like I do like to play 5 out with spacing. So it has to be a combination. It's not just like this is the analytics. Okay, she checks the box. No, the fight, the heart, the dog, the killer instinct. That to me is number one, and I could see that through film, obviously. And if you ask a lot of head coaches, like who are the players that they like to coach, kind of has the resemblance of how I played and how I like to be coached. And so I am a killer in a way when I played. I was undersized. I was misjudged. I was stereotyped that I couldn't make it. And so I tend to resonate with players that are like that. And I try my best to, give those players opportunity that maybe they didn't have before.
Sorry. When you're looking for like a strong defender, you're scouting a player and you're like, okay, I want this person because they're a good defender. What are you looking for? I assume like the hustle and playing hard and all of that, but what other like assets does somebody need to have to be a really strong defender in this league, do you think?
I mean, I could use Kai as an example. Like Kai to me, like did the extra. So when, she's in transition defense, like she's pointing, she's communicating, she's covering. So I'd say just like being mindful that you can cover for multiple people. It's not just necessarily like a matchup for herself, but how can she cover for multiple people? So if we say we have a disadvantage of a matchup, how can she do extra? How can she do more? So that's what I'm big on is like, imagine if you had 5 players all connected, but doing more than what they're asked for, then I think that we're a pretty dangerous team. And I do think I have a bunch of those. Yeah.
Natalie, I'm intrigued by what Temi means to you as a player, just with her experience in different areas, different levels, different countries and experiences. You kind of know what you're going to get from Tip. You know what you're going to get from Veronica, even Chi-Chi. What does she mean? Chechi, sorry. What does she mean to your team as kind of that veteran mindset, that cool, calm, and collected? Because I kind of look at her as like your glue person.
Yeah. She's not cool, calm, and collective. I'll tell you that right now. She
know it when you see the way she plays.
Oh, she's our fire. She is our fire. What's great about Temi, and actually her nickname to me from me is Bestie. We are a little bit of besties because we don't hold back. And that's the thing with Temi is just like any type of adversity, Temi steps up first. She fights first. She commands first. She demands first. And that's what you need always on a team because in a game, you guys know it's always going to be some highs, but then some lows. Temi is the first to react, grab them together, and let them know what we have to do. And so with that type of, vocal leader on the court, that's great because I can't be everywhere. Right. So me and Temi were really connected in terms of like, we don't waste time. We get to the point, and that's how she is 24/7, whether it's in shoot around, whether it was just, we just had a film session or whatever. I mean, she's on it. And that's what you need because in basketball, there's only 40 minutes. And so you got to be able to play hard, fast, connected, in 40 minutes. And so that's what I rely for Temi for. She's our fire, not calm, cool, collective. She is fire, fire, fire. And that's what I love. And that's what we need,
Hi, Coach. Looking at the matchup tonight, I know it's only been a couple games since the trade deadline, but what stands out to you about how Washington looks different after the moves that they made in the past week leading up to the deadline?
So they made
Sykes trade and then Aaliyah Edwards trade.
Yeah. So they have AC, which I know AC, and now they have JC Sheldon. Continually be fast. They are a fast-paced team. They want the paint, like they want to get into the paint to finish, or they want to draw fouls. So AC, I mean, she could play the 3, she could play the 4, she could push the ball, she could post up. I mean, she fits them really well. She can also space the floor and shoot threes. JC, obviously high energy. She picks up the ball full court. She hawks the ball. They fit in really well. And I think when you have a change like that, you get a little, I think, quicker buy-in because obviously you're excited. You're excited about joining a new team. And I think because they're young and they're energetic, I think AC and JC, I mean, they fit perfectly. So it's really dangerous, because I think they provide more energy maybe than possibly that they had before just because they're new. Anytime I think you have something new, it's usually a positive. And I think in women's sports too, like women want to connect. And I think women have a better way of like opening themselves to come together quicker. That's just my experience from coaching in the W. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.